What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, as always. Hope you guys have had a great Wednesday. You guys know what time it is, man. We're going to have some fun. Tonight, we're going to hop into a live 12-team full PPR, way too early, 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys with the Catch fam. You guys have been really enjoying doing these, although the season is not even over yet. But I figured with the week that everyone's had, and as always, prayers up to DeMar Hamlin. But I figured this would be a good way to get the community together, kind of spread some positive vibes, and for us to kind of take a look forward to next year. And like I said, you guys have enjoyed doing these, so we're gonna rock on and hop into another one tonight. So. I appreciate you guys coming out. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some fantasy football. If you guys do play fantasy football through week 18, come through the chat. Let me know what you guys need. And happy to help you guys out as well. All right. I'm going to go ahead. Link for the mock draft is live in the YouTube chat. And it is live on Discord as well. So, fill it up. Whatever spot you guys take is not your permanent spot. We'll randomize the order once the entire mock draft is full, but I would imagine this will fill up slightly quick. We'll see. Had a pretty good amount of interest throughout the day. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight, man. Hit that like button on the way in. Hit the subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel. Hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know what you guys need. And let's get to it, man. Let's hop into a live 2023 fantasy football mock draft. Let's do it. All right, Tox is in the building. What's up, man? Godfather, hello, hello. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. What's up, guys? Alex, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. What up, what up? Senior Cinnabone, what's up, man? Good to have you in the house, as always. Godfather, wait to join. Let some new peeps get in. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. But don't be scared to take that final spot. I warned you guys on Discord. But I appreciate that. That's kind of you, bro. What's up, Prey? Good to see you, bro. Alex, let's get it. Got in the mock. Let's go, let's go. Prey said I blinked and it was full. It used to be like in the, the summertime when we do this. I mean, it would literally, within 30 seconds, 60 seconds of me sending out the invite, on Discord, it would be completely full. So, yeah, doesn't surprise me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and randomize the draft order. That was pretty quick. So there you guys go. Of course, I don't move. I'm at 1.1. This is like the second mock draft. We've done like 4 or 5 of these now. Second time I end up with 1.1. So, oh well. Anthony in the house. What's good, bro? It's good to see you, man. What's up? What's up? All right, guys. Everyone's here. I say we just get started, right? Let's hop right into it. Hope you guys are ready. Let's do it. 60 seconds per pick. 1 quarterback, of course. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, a flex, kicker, defense, 5 bench spots. Make sure you guys are looking through, building a queue throughout the stream because the rankings are not updated. So make sure you guys are taking a look at who's available, kind of scrolling around as well. All right, let's do it. Let's hop into it. 2023 mock draft. All right, 1.1. Who you picking? CMC? Austin Eckler? Or JJ? Those are basically, from the mocks we've done, the consensus guys going at 1.1. But I had Eckler this year personally. I'm just going to give him a shout here. I'll take Eckler. So, give me Eckler. Why not? CMC goes at 1.2. No surprise there. All right, Smokey, what's good, bro? Good to see you, man. Glad that you're drafting tonight, man. And JJ goes at 1.3. No surprise there. It used to be like a game of Hunger Games to join the mocks up for sure. Michael goes with Travis Kelce at 1.4. Jamar Chase got at 1.5. Full draft pretty quick, right, Godfather? Cooper Kupp's gone. Pray, I did randomize it, but I think, yeah, you stayed at 1.12. I stayed at 1.1. Thomas, what's up, man? Great to have you. What up, what up? What nights do you not work? I know you've told me. Brees Hall gone at 1.7. Anthony, used to barely fill up, now we have to fight for a spot. Proud of y'all. Yeah, man. For sure. For sure. All right, man. How you guys doing tonight? How we doing out there? Just so you guys know, we'll probably run another mock tomorrow, I think is the plan. I think I'm going to run one with Steven. So you guys can draft with both me and Steven. And there's kind of, we'll see what's going on tomorrow because it'll be a little bit of an earlier stream. But Steve and I might just do a joint team where, we switch off picks. That way more of you guys can join. But yeah, I think we'll run another one of these tomorrow. We might even run one Friday night because you guys like doing these. And it's a good way to kind of talk fantasy, especially in kind of the unfortunate circumstances we're in at this point in this current week, right? So it's just kind of like tough to make fantasy content right now because we don't really know if there's going to be the additional week, It's just kind of tough to wrap things up here. So I think this is a really good way to kind of just keep everyone together, keep spreading positive vibes, keep wishing the best for DeMar Hamlin and everything, but still be able to have some fantasy content for the channel and a way for the community to come together as well. All right, JT got at 1.8. Derrick Henry's gone 1.9. Dalvin Cook goes at 1.10. Diggs at 1.11. Barkley and Jacobs both go to Prey. I like that running back stack, Prey. And into the second round we go. Anthony, no stream delay. Is that a good thing? Devontae Adams gone. Godfather, good over here chilling, playing with the baby. I feel that, man. I feel that. Did a lot of that when I got home from work today. Thomas, off Sundays and Mondays. Nice, man. It's usually when I'm off, too. Mixon gone. Chubb gone. Josh Allen, our first quarterback off the board. Cinnabon, I feel like I shouldn't be picking Brees at 1.7, but that's what I'm going to do. Like I always say, man. Follow your gut. Follow your gut. Jacobs and Barkley at the curve is crazy. I do think Prey got two really nice picks there for sure. I mean, literally, you've got, your RB4 and 6? Wow, I'm way off. RB3 is Jacobs. Barkley's RB5. I was like one spot off, but same difference. Jacobs at 13 is a disgrace. Diggs kind of early. I don't think so. Diggs is your wide receiver 4 right now, so I think when you look at this tier, I mean, I have been surprised that Tyreek Hill hasn't been going a little bit earlier in a lot of these mocks, but really, after JJ, I really think any combination, any order of Chase, Cup, Diggs, Adams, Lamb, Hill is sufficient. Whoever you have the most conviction in, I think that tier wide receiver is going to stay pretty consistent next year in comparison to what we saw this past year. Although I guess it's interesting, we don't really know who's going to be throwing to Devontae Adams. I think Diggs will be just fine. I think Cup will be fine coming off the injury, but I guess he is coming off injury. I think A.J. Brown, right outside that tier, is completely fine too. All right, I need to open up this mock on a second screen. ETN's gone. Goodbye, ETN. I have no idea who I'm going to pick. Oh, I do this every draft. Let's see. So I got Eckler. All right. I'm going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Get that out of the way. Then I'm just kind of torn on this next draft pick, if you guys can't tell. There's two directions I feel like I can go here. And I mean, I'm at the turn, so I've got like a while until I draft again. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to take a quarterback here. I'm going to go hero running back for this draft. We'll see how it goes. Probably risky because you guys love drafting running backs. Jason Adams stack is nice. Oh, for sure. I like that. Smoky. Not drafting running backs early ever again, right? Are people worried about where Jacobs could land affecting his draft position? I think so. I mean, I still hear some people like arguing that Jacobs is injury prone too, which like, I mean, I guess is fair, but I really think, like, wouldn't you argue all running backs are injury prone? Like, can you think of a single running back who is like consistently healthy over the last 3 years? You know, like it's just a position with a lot of wear and tear. You know, outside of defensive positions, I mean, it's probably easily, in terms of offense, the position that you get injured at the most. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really worry about Jacobs. And I feel like the only concern you would have with Jacobs is if he goes to a team where you'd be looking at a committee, which is a lot more common now in the NFL because of the wear and tear that running backs take, you know. But I don't know. I just don't worry about Jacobs. I do have a feeling, depending on who the quarterback is for the Raiders next year, that they're going to want to re-sign Jacobs. And if you can keep Jacobs and Adams there, and Darren Waller's under contract, and Hunter Renfro's under contract, like, the defense is pretty bad, but, you know, make the right draft picks. You've still got two really good edge rushers on that team, right? You got Crosby and Jones, but I mean, the offensive line is okay for the Raiders, right? I don't know. They've got pieces there. So I think it would be really unwise of them to not re-sign Josh Jacobs. And I said that before this season even started. Like, you guys know, I was a big fan of Josh Jacobs coming in the season. I just always thought, like, A, he's been underrated, but, you know, B, he also is just, like, the quintessential Raiders running back, too. So, but who knows, man? They might not re-sign him because, you know, Josh McDaniels is their head coach. So, the 12th pick might be a must-want pick going into next year. I mean, I always like having the turn from the 1.12. The turn at 1.1 is a little bit riskier, but yeah, 1.12 is a really good area, generally speaking, for value players to drop to you, because you're going to get like the top tier value from the second round, and then there's always that chance that a really high value player falls out from the first, like Saquon Barkley or Josh Jacobs, however you want to look at it. But yeah, I mean, I think in general, I always enjoy drafting from. I mean, there's an advantage, I think, to both turns because you get to kind of map out two players at a time. But I always like the 1.12 a little bit more. Thomas, days off don't work for draft, bro. Let's get one sometime if you have the same days off. Yeah, I'll try for sure, bro. It'll be a little bit easier once the season ends, the regular season ends, you know. But yeah, we'll get you in some. I promise. We do so many of these in the off season. It's not even funny, bro. So, but I'm starting to look into Dynasty and how it works and how to draft. I have been too in my very little free time. So I'm trying to start to gather mental notes and information. So yeah. I'm going to Dynasty start up. The draft is tomorrow. Oh, wow. Yeah, let us know how it goes for you, bro. As we're starting to kind of delve into that realm as well. Any of you guys who do play Dynasty, I'd love to get you guys' thoughts, opinions, feedback, criticisms, whatever. help point me in the right direction, of course. But we'll have a Dynasty segment in the off season, so you guys can, feel free to come out to that and give me pointers too. Prey, you should have gone 4 running backs. Talks, I have the 1.12 turn in Dynasty startup. How do you feel about it, man? I do feel like in a Dynasty startup, I don't know if you agree, but I feel like having an earlier pick helps a lot. Because in a startup, I feel like from what I've looked into, one of the most important things is grabbing your quarterback. So if you have one of those early picks, like right now you can get Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Mahomes, that really, really helps. I mean, even outside of that, like if you can just get a young starting quarterback, a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, someone you're going to be able to trust for an extended period of time, like that's huge. But let me know what you think. Pretty sure I know better, but would drafting Kelsey be number 1 bad? He's top scorer every year. No, I considered it going into this season. I don't think it's bad at all. No. I mean, you just know exactly what you're going to get out of Kelsey. Like, I would be willing to continue to take the risk because some people do think that there's risk because of his age. Like, I would be willing to consider taking on that risk and not worrying about it at all until we see it. Like, and if it happens the year I draft him, like, oh well, is what it is. Because, like, look at this past year, some people had that concern. You look at last year, some people had the concern, and like this past year, you had Tyreek Hill leave the offense, and you had people like, well, it's gonna be easier to cover Kelsey now, and it's like, is it though? It hasn't turned out that way. So, all right, I really wanted Devonta Smith this round, but he's gone, so I'm sad. James Conner's gone, which also makes me sad. So I've got to take a look here. I want to pick a second quarterback. Who do I want to pick? Who do you guys think I should pick? Just kidding. McLaurin's gone. Let's go with the Lions offense today. Give me Swift. I feel like Swift at 4.12 is like too much upside to pass on. Part of me wants to go double running back here, but I feel like the smarter choice is just to take another receiver, so I'll take Mike Williams. A lot of upside on this team. A lot of risk, too. So let's do it. Let's go. Talk says maybe not number 1 overall for Kelsey. Top 4 isn't out of the question. Yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't take him number 1. I do think I'd look at Eckler, CMC, JJ before Kelsey. And I just, like really when you look at the tight end position, like going into this year, it's like Kelsey or Andrews. You get either of those guys, you had the top tier guy. I mean, Andrews is still, although he's had a disappointing season, still your tight end 3, But I do think going into this next season, there's going to be a little bit larger of a gap where it's going to feel like if you don't get Kelsey, you're automatically in a lower tier. I mean, you've got guys like Kittle and Andrews. A lot of people have faith in Pitts next year, kind of rebounding and everything, and hopefully being utilized better within that offense, because not everything you saw for Pitts this year was really his fault. But then you got guys like Goddard and Hawkinson and Schultz, Zach Ertz when he was healthy, who still played very well this year, But it does feel like, I mean, obviously the point differential between Travis Kelce and like the next 4 tight ends is just ridiculous. But I do feel like when I'm looking at a draft going next year, it's like if I don't land Kelce, I'm probably not picking a tight end for quite some time. And I'm just going to try and find a good late round value guy like I did going into this past year. And just the way I typically draft, I'm taking a running back in the first round, but it kind of depends on the draft positioning. I might end up taking a receiver, but I just don't generally pick a tight end that early. But if Kelsey falls at the right spot, I'd definitely take Kelsey. But I usually don't take quarterbacks too early. But that was another position this year where the point differential between the top 5 quarterbacks and the next 10 quarterbacks was huge. You know, especially with Kyler Murray being hurt at points and then going down, Lamar Jackson being hurt, Justin Herbert being really disappointing. All things considered, it was a weird year for the quarterback position. You know, a lot of veterans taking a big step back. Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott missed quite a few games. He's been pretty solid since his return, but he's also had a ton of turnovers and a couple pretty disappointing performances. And he had, players like Tua who were really hot at points and not hot at points. Then he had like emergence of players like Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Danny Dimes, Justin Fields, obviously, right? Then he had Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr guys. Carr kind of had a stable point in the season. Like between weeks 9 and 13, he had 17 or more points in every game. And then let's see here, 3 of his first 5 games, 17 or more points. So and then he had a lot of bad points too. And then Cousins, like your quarterback 9 on the season, but has had some really awful points. Another guy I forgot to mention is Jared Goff in terms of quarterbacks who emerged this year as options. So it was just a really weird year at quarterback. And for some reason, I broke every quarterback down there in a nutshell. But I do feel like my point being going into next season, people are going to be, I would say, more willing than ever. Because last year we saw, going into last year, Josh Allen, Herbert and Mahomes still go pretty early, like early second, anywhere from early second to the mid third round, depending on your league, Then he kind of may had a round or two. Well, no, I still feel like Jackson and Kyler Murray went pretty quickly after that in a lot of drafts, and he had Hurts and Burrow going next. So, yeah, I don't know. I do feel like a lot of fantasy managers, point being, are going to be going after those top 5 or 6 quarterbacks from this year going into next year. Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow, Fields will definitely be hot commodities. So, and then I still think people are going to be willing to want to draft Jackson and Herbert, and I would say even Kyler Murray, and I would say Trevor Lawrence as well at relatively early value. 7th rounder before. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's see here. John, how do you feel about Javonte Williams next year? I wasn't super high on Javonte coming into the season because of the offense he's a part of. And I think that's still my concern going into next year. The Broncos just utilize several running backs. But at the right value, am I still going to take Javonte? For sure. I don't really mind him at 5.5, where Talk's gone. Talks, I'm not sure what direction I'm going in Dynasty. I haven't tried it before, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, man, good luck to you. Do we think Kamara could be suspended next season? Yes. But we just don't know. So, getting him at 5.4, pretty good values. Your RB 17 on the year. I would take him in that range right now, I hate how early quarterbacks are going to go this year. Yeah. I miss when Burrow and Hurts win the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. Basically what we just went over, right? Grail Collect, what's up, bro? Can we do an auction draft this weekend? That would be fun, actually. Yeah. We could probably do that Saturday night. Maybe Friday night. Yeah. I'd be down for that, Cinnabon. Maybe Saturday night since it takes longer and all that. Talks DK and Lockett stack. Oh, For Prey, you better be grabbing Gino, bro. All right, man. All right, let me take a look. I'm gonna have to pick players. I was like kind of eyeing T.J. Hawkinson here if he fell, but I'm fine without him. All right, who do I want to draft? Who do I want to draft? Antonio Gibson, that's who. Just kidding. I'm starting to like Cam Akers going into next season. Give me Pacheco. That's my boy. And wow, there's two players I like here. Two players I like here, man. I'll go Chris Olave. But I almost went Jerry Jeudy. But I'll go Olave here. I feel like I have like two ceiling type players in Mike Williams and Amon-Ra. So going Chris Olave feels a little bit smoother to me. But Jeudy was kind of tempting there. But yeah, give me a running back, give me a receiver, and let's move right on. Almost waited a while for Stafford after grabbing Kupp in first round, but just couldn't do it. John said grab Gino. Does he not see Joe Burrow? Yeah, I was just joking. I've learned that I like auction drafts more than snake drafts because it's more about money management than getting lucky. I love the auction league this year. Like, that was one of my favorite leagues from the whole season. Pretty disappointed how I went out, but it is what it is, man. I feel like Cam Akers will beat someone up and get suspended. No, he won't. Anthony, thoughts on Ingram and McKinnon next year? I don't know if what is like McKinnon's contract. He's a free agent next year, right? Yeah, we got to see. It just depends. Like, I mean, he's always been super talented, but it just depends if he's going to be on the Chiefs next year or not. And then Ingram is also going to be a free agent. So they both have made the case to get re-signed without a doubt to their respective teams, but we'll just have to see before we make the call. If they both get re-signed with their teams, yeah, I would draft them for sure. For sure. Spence, what's up, bro? Time to not sleep so I can on the plane. Vegas in 12 hours. Let's go, bro. Hope you have fun. Hope you have a safe trip, man. If you win like a ton of money, just remember that like we're boys, you know, like we're cool. So, but that'll be fun, man. I'm happy for you, Alex. I had a Olave this past season, Yai Money League, so I like him myself. Yeah, I think you've got some receivers next year that'll be sophomore receivers who are gonna have really good years next year for sure. Greg Collect, any tips for someone wanting to start a fantasy football channel this season? Things you know now that you wish you knew then? I mean, it's a good question, but I really think that it doesn't really matter what type of channel you want to start. The most important thing is just starting. You know, is like, I always tell people, like, if you're serious about it, like, stop talking and, like, don't have the conversation with me. Like, film a video right now on your phone. Get on your computer and edit it. Like, just start right away. And then just every single video you make, just build upon it and make it better than the last video. In terms of fantasy football related content, once again, you just got to start, man. You just got to start. You know, I mean, really, the same formula that I followed this season is exactly what I followed last season. So, just be genuine and be yourself, and you know, that's all you can really do, man. But And you just got to stay consistent. It's a really tough grind, man. And you just got to stay consistent through it. You know, upload every single day, go live every day, whatever it is, man. But you know, and it's important to pay attention to trends within the community, but at the same time, do what you want to do, man. You know, that's the biggest when it comes to content creation. You just gotta do what you want to do and be genuine about it, and everything else will work out. But yeah, you just gotta start, man. And that's the hardest thing for people is literally starting. But you'll work out all the little things and all the kinks as you go, and you'll learn every week and every month, and you'll change and you'll adapt on your own. There is no real like blueprint that someone can give you, and you'll just be successful at it. You just have to kind of adapt on your own and figure it out on your own. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, I'd be happy to help you, man. If you have any questions, let me know, bro. So, hope that was helpful. Praise in the Jags organization. Elliot, what's good, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. Great to have you tonight. We're just chilling and mocking. Grail, you definitely laid down the blueprint. I've been with you when you were doing these mocks on your own. The fam has grown. It definitely has, bro. I appreciate the kind words, man. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, it's been it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey, but I've enjoyed every minute of it for sure. All right, I gotta throw up a queue here. Who am I gonna draft? I feel like it's a decent start to this team. Okay, I feel like my queue is solid. I've gotten down to Taylor Heineke, so I think I'm at a good stopping point. I don't know, actually, there's some pretty good players where I'm at. I'm pretty far down, too. All right, now we're getting kind of, I don't even know. I mean, I'm at Colt McCoy. Okay. Probably get out of there now. Appreciate you, Grail. All right, guys, so where are we at? 8.7. Fryermuth off the board. Be Like Chunk. Who's Be Like Chunk? Goes in Joku. I know who everyone else is. Who's Be Like Chunk? Reveal yourself. Tox goes Evan Engram. I like it. I like it. I was kind of surprised that Engram was still available. I like Hollywood Brown here. I will say if Hollywood fell to 8.12, I would definitely take Hollywood. I do think when we look at Hollywood Brown going into next season, whenever Kyler's back, I think Hollywood will start to kind of match that production that we saw at the beginning of last season. Or the season we're in, right? But news is that Cliff Kingsbury is probably out. No surprise there. As head coach for the Cardinals, probably good for that offensive room. Got a lot of youth there. Is James Conner going to be a free agent? No, I think he's locked up. Yeah, so he should be there next year. Then he still got Hollywood. Still got Hopkins. Still got Ertz. You got Trey McBride. Greg Dortch will be gone, but you still got Rondell Moore. And obviously, Kyler. So, no offensive line, though. Defense, really bad at times, but had, some good times, too. I know, there are good players on that defense. Man, I wanted Drake London here. And I like Dotson, London, Brown were the 3 players I was hoping I could get this round, but not surprised I didn't get any of them. I'm going to take Brian Robinson here. And I need a tight end, so I'm going to take Cole Kmet. So, you look at tight ends available. You got Knox, Ertz, Gesicki, Everett, Higbee, Hurst. Yeah, it's thinning out. I do feel like after the tight ends that are gone in this draft right now are gone, I'm a little bit shaky. You know, Kelsey, Andrews, Pitts, Kittle, Goddard, Hawk, Waller, Freiermuth, Njoku, Ingram, Schultz, Kmet. I mean, look at who's available. Dawson Knox and Zach Ertz. You know, I mean, Ertz had surgery on his ACL and MCL. Veteran player, but was like tight end 4 before he went down, right? Gesicki's going to be a free agent. I mean, Gesicki wasn't really fantasy relevant this year anyways. Hunter Henry completely dropped off from the year before. Gerald Everett's interesting. Tyler Higbee's interesting. Those are 2 guys who I think could be good value picks. Hayden Hurst as well. I mean, Taysom Hill is out there, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, Hill is a top 8 PPR tight end and tight end 2 in standard scoring. So, but yeah, unless there's someone I'm really not thinking of. I mean, Trey McBride, Kate Otten, Jelani Woods, like Daniel Bellinger, maybe some guys who could have bigger roles in their second season. But you got Chig and Conquo, but yeah, I think it's pretty shaky after. At least there's question marks after the guys. So, Kmet was, I felt like a player I needed to pick up there for sure. Tux, I gotta get my tight end stack so that people don't get a tight end. Yeah, I was like starting to look at the board and I was like, oh, I might land Evan Ingram, which I'd be pretty happy with. But I like that you shook it up there. And I'm fine with Kmet too. Cinnabon, I want to draft Hollywood, but I already have D-Hop. Probably won't start both of them ever. That's fair. Yeah, unless they're going up against like an awful secondary, definitely feels risky on your same team there. Tox, this feels like the type of draft I would have in a real league last year. Oh crap, I need to make myself smaller. Here we go. Yeah, this looks like a Tox team for sure. I like Mooney here. Like if I skipped a tight end there and really risked it, which Prey needed a tight end, and then you just never know if someone's going to take a second tight end with a guy like maybe Waller or even Pitts, even Kittle, who always misses sometime. You know, I felt like I needed to lock up Kmet there. But if I didn't go Kmet there, I probably would have gone Mooney. Sure. Don't let John get the player samples. Yeah. All right, now I feel like I gotta go through my queue again. Some interesting quarterbacks still kind of laying around. I feel like there's still decent players available. It's so funny, like, drafting at this point in the season and, like, looking at the rankings and just looking at players who, like, we just way over-evaluated last offseason. And just seeing them ranked where they are, you know what I mean? Man, I can't believe the Giants have to re-sign, like, their entire offense. That makes me, like, very worried about drafting Lions receivers. Excuse me, Giants receivers. All right, I'm scrolling pretty far down. Damn, James White. Oh, James White retired. That's right. I think I took James White in a couple best ball drafts, like when we were doing really early best ball drafts. All right, I have scrolled way too far down. Well, I don't know. I just hit Paris Campbell and Randall Cobb and Randall Robinson, who all like played this year. Kate Otten, T.Y. Hilton, Matt Collins. Maybe I didn't scroll too far down. KJ Osborne. I don't think I necessarily want to draft any of these players, but like they're still players. All right, now I'm not recognizing like a single name in that. All right. Allen Robinson at the top. Talk says I was hoping to land McKinnon in the 10th. Where did he go? Oh, 9.10. Rashad Bateman's available, Talks. Yeah, I mean, you just look at the top of the board. I mean, Allen Robinson, Brandon Cook, CH, Rashad Bateman, Hunter Renfrow, Dawson Knox. Like, yeah, I mean, just players that we were all pretty high on, you know, as a majority going into the season. I didn't like Brandon Cooks, but I would still draft Cooks at the right value. I didn't love CH, but I drafted him at the right value. Didn't love Robinson, but I drafted him at the right value. Same with Bateman. Knox and Renfrow, those were two of my guys in the offseason for sure, though. Elijah Moore, a player I really liked coming into this season. Really disappointing player. All right, I'm trying to just look around. 3 bench spots for me. There goes Goff. Prey says I was hoping to get McKinnon too. You think Brissett gets a chance to start next year? Where do you think would be the best landing spot? I don't know. I mean, I think Brissett played great this year, all things considered. I think he could just stick with the Browns. But when you look across the league, like, I guess the Jets are going to need a starting quarterback. You could argue the Falcons. They might continue to roll with Ritter. The Saints. Maybe the Panthers. Texans. Colts. Obviously, some of these teams are going to draft quarterbacks. Cardinals would be a really I think the Cardinals would actually be a fit that makes sense. Because, you know, Kyler's going to miss a little bit of time. So he could kind of do what he did this past year for the Browns. You know what I mean? But, I guess the Commanders are going to need a quarterback. That's probably about it, right? I mean, Raiders, I guess you could argue. So Raiders, maybe the Titans. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Jets, Falcons, Saints, Texans, Cardinals for a short amount of time. Yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe the Seahawks, but I think they'll re-sign Geno, maybe draft someone. But I feel like the Cardinals would make a little bit of sense. What do you think? I was thinking Tennessee. With this demand, Jacoby better get paid. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's not a super large amount of... We just looked at free agents last night. Like every free agent. Free agent, NFL. Here we go. It's the site I wanted. All right, so... Yeah, next year, free agents will have Brady, Mayfield, Darnold, Garoppolo, Bridgewater, Danny Dimes, Brissett, Geno Smith, Andy Dalton, Mike White, Taylor Heineke, Lamar Jackson. A lot of other names. A lot of guys who played this year, too. Gardner Minshew, Jared Stidham, Trace McSorley, John Wolford, Tyler Huntley, Brett Ripien, Cooper Rush, Peterman, Drew Lock, Bethard. Did I say Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco? I mean, I forgot Flacco played at a point this year. Mason Rudolph, interesting. Case Keenum. So, I mean, a lot of backups. So, but I do think if you look at Jacoby Brissett in comparison to most of those names, like, yeah, definitely has a good shot. Obviously, some of those guys, I mean, Daniel Jones going to get re-signed. Jackson's going to either get re-signed or, you know, he's going to get top-tier money somewhere, right? But I just, at the end of the day, the Ravens will franchise tag him until he, like, sits out, you know. But yeah, Garoppolo could be a starter next year for sure on a team not named the Niners. Brady will probably be a starter next year on a team not named the Bucks. Baker is a really interesting play because I think, you know, sometimes when you look at quarterbacks who have kind of like struggled, a really good thing for them is to prove that they can still play, but also continue to be patient and sit. I feel like if Baker re-signed with the Rams, it'd just be a really good situation for him. You know, sit behind Stafford until Stafford retires, and then potentially take over that team, you know. Sam Darnold kind of making a case for himself, too, these past couple of weeks. Geno obviously has made a big case for his name. Mike White is a really interesting player, too. You know, I don't think White is a perfect quarterback. I mean, you got Taylor Heineke on here, too. I think White and Heineke have a lot of similarities, actually. But they're both guys who will make very, very, very valuable backups. Because they're guys that, you know, they know your system and you throw them in there, they're going to give you a chance. You know? All right, I got to figure out who I'm going to draft. I mean, Allen Robinson's available. Looking pretty enticing, I'm not going to lie. Do you guys know Melvin Gordon's on the Chiefs? I didn't know that. And then I saw a picture of him, like, hugging Broncos players after the Chiefs game. But yeah, I literally did not know that. Alright, who in the world am I going to draft here? Going through my queue again. Jordan Love could come out of nowhere and fetch a first this offseason. That's a good point. Dominic, what's up, man? Rodgers, Goff, or Herbert? I go Goff. Go Goff. Got everything to play for. And so does Rodgers. And I do like Rodgers too, but I think Goff gives you a better ceiling. Anthony Kirk is MVP next year, feeling it. QB Carousel going to be fun to see the chips fall, says Elliot. Yeah, it's always fun, man. Always fun. He's unproven talent. When he had the opportunity, he didn't really do much. Oh, referring to Love. Elliot, Ronald Jones, 2-0 mileage accumulated this season. Yeah, I was like talking about Ronald Jones in one of the mocks this past week. Like, whatever. I thought he would be a thing this season. Wow, all the players I just queued up, like Palmer, Pirine, the two guys I actually wanted here, are gonzo. I'll take a chance on Higbee here, I guess. I had Rashad Penny and DJ Chark queued up. But I feel okay about this team. I mean, I got 4 running backs, 5 receivers, quarterback, 2 tight ends. I feel pretty good about this team, actually. So I'm going to draft a kicker or defense here. How much time do I have? 40 seconds. Couple defenses already taken. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm always going to stream kickers and defenses, but I will go with the Pats. You know, defense number 1 in fantasy this year. Obviously, well, I guess through week 17, they played all their games, right? Why do Chiefs have so many low to mid-tier running backs? And I think you could argue receivers, too. I just saw the pick, Anthony. It's just part of their system, you know? It's what they do, man. It's what they do. I love how this kicker gets picked, like, every mock we do. Oh, I meant to pull him up on this screen. I'm sorry. Yeah, when he was actually on the Cowboys, that was so funny this offseason. Then he got waived for Brett Meyer, which is the right move, but I feel like tonight's mock went by pretty fast. I don't know, about an hour. Okay. That works. That works. Geno needs 114 yards to get to a 4,000 yards season. Pretty impressive. I was nervous going into the season. Yeah, I love what happened with Geno Smith this year. For sure, man. For sure. And definitely an impressive season no matter what happens with him next year. But I'd be kind of surprised if he's not with the Seahawks next year. I don't know if you agree. Pray Chiefs need to sign Josh Jacobs. I mean, the way their system works, I don't know if it would even really, like, matter. Like, I just don't think if an elite running back goes to the Chiefs, it's really going to do... I think it could hurt them, you know. I mean, the offense would probably run very smoothly, but I just don't know, like, from a fantasy perspective, how much it would help them. You know what I mean? If Juju got targets, he'd be high tier, but Jarek has been giving Mahomes top. I mean, that offense also fluctuates and really, like, I mean, they make very specific game plans and, you know, really look at teams' weaknesses, and they just get it done, and they don't care how they get it done, you know? Issue with doing early mocks like this is there's no rookies to take shots at, so the last 4 rounds are just backups or bad players. I think that could be true, but also you just get a lot of players who, like, maybe have question marks going into next season or had value at some point this season, but probably won't next season, if that makes sense. But I do think that there are still good players taken in the last couple rounds, actually. DPJ, Lazard, Madison, Tony Dobbs, Knight, Myers, Knox, Hill, Higbee, Palmer, Piron, Gallup. I mean, there's some players I'm not as big of fans of, too, in there. But I mean, I just love the Tox and Anthony coming through with the solid picks here. I mean, what are we going to do, man? Brett Meyer, Robbie Gould, Cameron Dicker, Nick Folk. All good options here. I'll go Meyer, though. Go Cowboys. Packers election Ty Frogel. Yeah, I guess he did work out for the... Who are these players? How do you guys even find them? Damn, this poor guy had an injury settlement with the Bucs. Is he a quarterback? Hasn't done anything in his career. In preseason games, okay. Well, I hope he had a good recovery. But all right. Geno ending the Jets playoff hopes is poetic. It was poetic. That was good stuff. All right, guys, let me know if you guys want me to take a look at your squad here. So, Prey, what'd you do tonight, broski? Burrow. Ertz. I'm good with that. I mean, Ertz is still a question mark going into next season, but could definitely pay off. I do think if you draft Ertz at this point in the offseason, like, you might as well draft Trey McBride, and then you just lock up, like, the tight end position for that squad, you know? Barkley, Jacobs, Sanders, Algier, Wilson. Great running back room. Metcalf, Lockett, Pickens, Lazard, Claypool. Good receiver room, I mean, all things considered. I think over Claypool, like, I would just go McBride there, personally. And Jeff Wilson, a big question mark next year, being a free agent, but that's fine. I mean, in the 11th and 12th round, and we're, like, not even done with this season. I think that's fine. Bucks defense, Younghoe Koo. Good team. Starting Burrow, Ertz, which already kind of addressed. Barkley, Jacobs, Metcalf, Lockett, or Metcalf and Pickens, however you want to look at it. And then you're flexing one of those two receivers, or Sanders, Algier, Lazard. So definitely a good team. Definitely have some room to wiggle with, you know, waiver wire trades, everything. But yeah, man, I mean, it's always a little risky drafting two receivers from the same squad. But obviously, like, if you had Lockett and Waller this past year, you'd have wide receiver 12, wide receiver 16 in PPR. I don't think you'd be too upset. But it's just like weeks where the Seahawks play poorly, you might be putting a little bit more risk on your team. But yeah, I like this team, man. I mean, the stack of Barkley and Jacobs was crazy. So good squad, Prey. All right, Talks. Fields, Goddard, Ingram looks good to me for sure. Chase, Lamb, Mooney, Cooks, Jones, Javonte, Cook, Harris, Eagles defense, Money Mac, and that guy. So you're starting Fields, starting Goddard, Chase and Lamb, Jones, and maybe Cook to go into the season to see how Javonte does. Then in the flex, you've got Javonte, Ingram, Mooney, Harris, and Cooks. I'm not really, like, high on Cooks going into next year. I don't even know if where he'll be, but I mean, 11.5 at this point in the off season. I mean, we're not even in the off season. This point in time is fine. Eagles defense, Money Mac is fine, although McPherson really hasn't had a great fantasy year. But yeah, I think this team is fine. You've got good flex options. I mean, receiver depth isn't great. Running back has some injury concerns, I think you could argue. But overall, I think this team is good. Yeah. Chase and Lamb is really nice. You got Fields at 4.8 is nice. You got some nice upside with, like, Cook, and I think Mooney was a good value pick and everything. So yeah, good team. I need water. Cinnabon. T-Law, quarterback, 6.6, good pick. Freiermuth at 8.6, I love that selection. Hall, Walker, Pierce, Foreman, and Jalen Warren. Good kind of youth picks at running back. I know you already spoke on going Hall early just to see what would happen. And I think it's okay. I think if you think about it this way, if Hall was not hurt this year, he'd definitely be going in that range. So I'm not totally against it. Hopkins, Ridley, Ayuk, Boyd, Randall, Robinson, Tucker, and Cowboys. Yeah, good team. Starting T-Law, starting Freiermuth. Hopefully starting Hall and Walker. Hopkins and Ridley, probably. But if not, you could start the year with Ayuk. Ayuk was a nice pick at 7.7. And then really, yeah, in the flex, you've got Pierce, Ridley, or Ayuk, Boyd, Foreman. Then you've got kind of two spots that you can fluctuate in terms of waivers. So, yeah, I like this team, man. I think this was a good squad. Nice. I think the running backs actually present some nice upside just due to their age. So, yeah, man, good team. Hawks probably have a top 3 picks. It'd be nice to keep Geno and draft a quarterback for him to mentor. I agree. I think that'd probably be the best move there. Michael, only running backs would really work at the elite level are CMC, Eckler, etc. Pass catching backs. Let's see. Oh, Michael, what'd you do tonight, broski? Goff and Geno, late round quarterbacks. I'm fine with that, man. Kelsey at tight end. I'm fine with that. Hill, Waddle, Keenan Allen, Judy, Brown, Robinson, Nico Collins. I mean, all things considered, really, really good value at receiver. Kamara and Dillon, a little risky here, but could really pay off for your like only starting running backs. But then Patterson, Pirine, I mean, good value where he got them. Patterson's a big question mark going into next year. Pirine's still a really good handcuff, but he may be a free agent. I don't remember off the top of my head next year. I think he might. I think he will be. But yeah, it's an interesting team, interesting build. Starting Goff, Kelsey, Hill, and Waddle. I mean, you know, we talked about Metcalf and Lockett being a little bit scary and the risk that two receivers have, but like, yeah, I mean, Hill at wide receiver 2, Waddle at wide receiver 8. The two receivers are the least scared to draft, I think, going into next season that are on the same team. But just look at like Judy and Sutton, Williams and Keenan Allen, and I don't know, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Kirk, Zay Jones. I mean, there's a lot of other examples, but I think Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown and then Waddle and Hill are the two that are the 4 total receivers that you just don't have fear going into next year. And I think that Metcalf and Lockett are probably the next 2. Evans and Godwin, too much for a question mark right now. Of course, Chase and Higgins as well. What am I saying? It's late. All right. Anyways, yeah, I like this team. Goff, Kelsey, Hill, Waddle, Kamara, Dillon. Then in the flex, I mean, you got Allen, Judy, Hollywood, Patterson, Pirine, and you can fluctuate with Robinson, Nico Collins on the waiver, and even have an extra quarterback. No kicker or defense, but yeah, I like this squad, man. Good drafting, Michael. Anthony, what'd you do, bro? What are you up to? 2 a time, Trey Lance. No Captain Kirk on this team, huh? JJ, AJ Brown, Michael Thomas, Drake London, Deontay, good receivers. Najee, Connor, Akers, good running backs. Kittle. I like this team a lot. Starting Tua. Starting Kittle. Starting Najee and Connor. Starting JJ and Brown. And then the flex, you got Akers, Thomas, London, Johnson. You know? And you still got Taysom Hill, too. And Trey Lance. And obviously your 2 value picks. Who would just be a kicker or defense in a real draft. So, I really like this team, Anthony. I think it's a really good squad. I don't really have any criticism for that squad. I mean, maybe some injury concern, you know. I'm probably skipping on Michael Thomas next year, but like I'd rather have Ayuk or even Judy, Dotson, Hollywood over Thomas, but overall, still a really good team. Let's see. Heavy CMC wants us to take a look at his team. All right. Let's see. What's up, Alligator Dog? All right, let's see. CMC, what'd you do, bro? Josh Allen, Watson at quarterback, Pitts at tight end, JT Dobbins, Herbert at running back, Garrett Wilson, Pittman, Burks, Dotson, DPJ. 2 defenses in the Niners and the Jets, and Graham Gano. I personally never draft 2 defenses. I just don't see the need, especially if you get a top-tier defense like the Niners, who will probably repeat as a top 5 next year. I don't think you need to get the Jets. But I do think with how early we're drafting, you could argue, like, you know, why not right now with where we're at. But I would say, like, running back a little bit thin here. That's probably the biggest concern with this draft. I mean, Herbert could be a starter next year. Dobbins, you know, that backfield always fluctuates, but could be in line for starter work. And then JT, I think is fine going into next year. But Wilson, Pittman, Burks, Dotson, DPJ, good receiver room. I mean, I do like this receiver room. You don't really have, like, an absolute stud based on this past year, but, like, Wilson could be that guy. I think Burks and Dotson have a lot of upside. Pittman still brings not a high ceiling, but somewhat consistency. Just depends on me throwing him the football, and DPJ is a good pick there. Obviously, you're fine at quarterback. I think you're fine at tight end. So, yeah, I do like this team, but I think running back just a little bit thin, and you probably don't need to draft 2 defenses. But Allen and Pitts, JT, Dobbins, Wilson, Pittman, probably your starting lineup. Then in the flex, you got Burks, Dotson, Herbert, DPJ. You got Watson as a backup. And we still have 2 stud defenses. Like, really, with the way this worked out, I'm not completely against the 2 defenses, but I would probably take a dart throw at running back or a handcuff running back over the Jets there. Graham Gano, obviously a beast. So, good team, yeah. Good team. Alex is the team with Kelsey. I kind of like. Yeah, I do like. I mean, Michael always ends up with a good squad somehow, no matter what he does. So, I like Anthony's squad tonight. But yeah, overall, good drafting tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing about the game cancellation impact? I'm still just waiting. For the catch fam leagues, we're just waiting. And I do want to say, like, for the catch fam leagues, like, I appreciate you guys. Like, literally, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I was kind of surprised that, like, I literally haven't gotten, like, any questions from you guys. Or, like, and I know, like, we talked about it on the live stream and everything, but I haven't gotten, we kind of addressed it on Discord too, but I just haven't had, like, anyone, like, A, raise any issues, or B, like, be upset, or, like, C, like, be spamming me about what's going to happen. Like, you guys have just been, like, really respectful to the situation, and I just really appreciate that. And, like, looking through the different leagues, like, just seeing you guys congratulating each other, and, like, just happy that you guys played together this year. Like, that was really cool to see too. But yeah, I know LeBron's, like, you obviously being at one of the top tier teams. There are some questions, So I don't know. We just got to sit back and kind of still continue to be patient and see what happens, because we don't know if this game's going to be replayed or not. Here's what we're going to do, right? If the game's not replayed, which I personally believe there's a strong chance it's not going to be replayed, then we're just going to end things at week 17, and it is what it is, If the game is rescheduled, then I will take the option for all leagues to re-add those points into your week 17 totals, because Sleeper is giving us that option. But if this game doesn't get replayed, it just is what it is, and things will just stay how they ended when you guys woke up today for all the leagues. So we'll just have to see what happens. And I'm not personally going to be adding, like, projections or anything, just across 4 leagues and then the auction league, so 5. I just want to end it how it is, and I think everyone's going to be okay with that. I know it's so, like, the Catch Fam tournament was free. So I think that's a big reason why maybe there hasn't been, like, any issues. The auction league was not free. Like, you guys paid for that. And that's another thing. Like, Prodigy and J-Dubs, both you guys stepped up in the chat and, like, already worked something out. Like, I didn't even have to step in or, like, bring anything up. Like, you guys just worked out. Like, if this happens, we'll split the money this way. If this happens, we'll do this. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm just really happy that you guys were able to do that, if you guys are out there listening. But, yeah. So I think let's just give it a little bit more time. I'll make an official announcement, and then I'll kind of piece together everything and send out, on Discord who won what, and then we'll probably announce it in either a video or on stream as well. But completely fair question. I appreciate you asking. And if you guys have questions, you guys can ask me. You guys can DM me or put on Discord or whatever. Ask me in the live stream. It's okay to ask. It's okay to be curious about what's going to happen with this massive tournament we held this year and in the fantasy leagues and everything. It is okay to be curious. It's okay to be a little bit disappointed that, that this is how the season ended. It's okay to have some emotions about fantasy as well, with how much time and effort you guys put into fantasy. But I know, and I've already seen firsthand, that all your guys' initial thoughts, reactions, hearts, and emotions, are not geared towards fantasy, and at the end of the day, in a much better place with everything that's happened since Monday night. I know that your guys' thoughts and hearts have been with DeMar Hamlin, and I just really appreciate you guys as a community. But with that being said, it's okay to ask about the fantasy league, so I'll keep you guys updated for sure. All right, let's see. Heavy CMC with the $2 dono. I appreciate you, bro. You are clutch. Emojis in the chat for Heavy CMC. Appreciate you, man. Very kind of you, dog. We appreciate you being part of the community, and it was fun having you draft tonight, man. We'd love to have you in more of the drafts for sure. Trying to learn from Senior Cinnabon, learning a lot from the Catch Fam content. These chats are clutch, or these cats are clutch. Let's go. Let's see. Me and one other guy were in the finals. Winner gets 200, but as of now, I think he wins. He is the lead. Still hoping all is good, especially overall for football, for sure, man. Yeah. You might be able to come to an agreement with them where you guys split the pot if you feel like both sides feel like it's fair. At the end of the day, it's just too tough to say, like, because everyone's league is different. You guys play on different platforms, and everyone has a different commissioner. Everyone pays a different amount of money or doesn't pay any money or this or that, so yeah, we had like people mad at us this week like mad that in the week 18 videos, I don't know, there's just a lot of confusion. I think with fantasy this week, we were a little bit hesitant about putting out our week 18 content, but we were gonna, like, the whole, last season we did week 18 content because a small percentage of people play through week 18, and that was the plan all year. Like, we had several people like, hey, can you please make week 18 content? And it's like, yeah, that's our plan all year. Like, we know people play week 18 and we want to be here for you guys. But we had like some people, like, I don't know if people were mad because, I mean, there are people right now who are just mad about fantasy and how things have worked out, and there are people mad because they don't have answers, and I don't know. I think some of that has caused a little bit of like a rift in fantasy content for the week, and like everyone's league is up in the air, and it's, I don't know. We just had someone like mad in one of Steven's videos this week, like, you're not even going over like scenarios for fantasy managers who have Bengals or Bills, and week 18 is not even, like, I think people are confused, like, thinking we were making content like based off of what happened Monday night and the fact that people might be playing week 18 when they usually weren't for fantasy. And it's like, no, we're just making week 18 content because that's what we do every year for the small amount of people who do it. And on top of that, we can't like go over what you're supposed to do with the Bengals and Bills situation because it's different for every single league. It's like, it's just really discouraging, like, at the very end of the season to like watch people like act like that. And then like you have, whenever we do week 18 content, like, no matter what we say in the video, no matter what we do, people are still like, fantasy football is over, you idiot. And I'm like, it is over for like 95% of people or 90% of people, but we've always done the content for that small amount of people who play through week 18. And I'm like, I get that it's over for most people, but it's not over for everyone. So it's like, it's just been like a really, kind of discouraging week in terms of feedback. And like, we've been fluctuating, like losing subscribers and gaining one or two, then losing a couple. And it's just been, I think, a weird way to start to wrap up the season, I think. But with that being said, you guys have all been great in terms of your support all season long. And all the regular members of the channel have been You guys have been fantastic, and everything that you guys do is just truly, truly appreciated. And I mean, don't get me wrong. It's all of that being said, it's worth making the content for the people who want it, and being on here live for those of you guys who want to hang out and still have fantasy discussion at this point. So yeah, it is what it is. You can't please everyone. So I was going to ask if you did a money league. Yeah, we did one this year. We'll probably do another one next year. Auction style, though. Alligator Dog, my league was fun. Everyone continued to play throughout the season. Let's go. Alex, appreciate you letting me get a mock draft. I think I missed some picks. Wasn't ready when it was my turn. Got auto-picked the first 3 picks draft. I did see that. Nice little running back trio you got there. Alex, I've been playing fantasy football for 6 years, so I appreciate it. I just didn't get the right picks. I would mostly pick. Hey, man, we'll do tons and tons and tons of these in the off-season. You got plenty of time, man. Plenty of time to put together more drafts that you feel confident in. So, yeah, man. All right, so that'll wrap it up for the night. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Anthony, both Anthonys. Michael Talks, Be Like Chunk. Still don't know who Be Like Chunk is, but thank you for coming out. Cinnabone, Heavy CMC, Emil, Alex, Smokey, Prey. I appreciate you guys, man. Always fun mocking with you guys. Like I said, tomorrow night we're probably going to run another mock draft with Steven in the house. Since there's no Thursday night football. And we're kind of waiting, like we're going to do like a stream, like fantasy awards. But we're still just kind of waiting to see what happens with everything going on. And then we want to do a playoff predictions stream as well. We might combine those two. We're just kind of being patient. I just encourage you guys to keep being patient. And, yeah, man. So, great stream tonight, guys. Thank you guys for putting this together, for coming out, talking fantasy, and for drafting with me. And just want to say, once again, thoughts and prayers with Damar Hamlin, his family, his loved ones. And we just continue to wait, hopefully, for a really, really good update. We did get some positive news today on the situation, and as soon as we have better updates with that and what's going to happen with the Bills and Bengals and everything, I'll make sure you guys know on Discord and everything, and we'll just continue to be patient. And that's all we can do, and prayers up, man. That's all you can say. Cinnabon, have a good night, bro. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon. CMC, here's some encouragement. Thanks, man. Thank you for the $5 dono, bro. You didn't have to do that. Perfect way to end the stream, man. Emojis in the chat for you, man. Never change who you are. You are authentic. Here's the off season again. Thank you for being who you all are. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Always is nice to hear that stuff from you guys, and know that there are people who appreciate what we do. And I know that there are. So, like, even if we never gained another subscriber, or if we just kept the exact community that we have right now, and we uploaded the same videos year after year, and we had people upset with us for whatever reason, as if we had the bulk of the Catch fam together, then I'd be happy, man. So I appreciate you, bro. I really do. Thank you for the super chat, man. It means a lot. It really helps out. All right, guys, we'll go and wrap up here. I got to do a couple chores and hit the hay. So appreciate you guys, man. Great mock tonight. You guys killed it. Alex, have a good night. Thomas, have a good night. Heavy CMC, you're the man. Thank you for the super chats tonight, bro. I appreciate you. And more importantly, I appreciate the kind words. But that'll do it, guys. So hit that like on the way out. Check out the links down below. Join our Discord. Follow us on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Damar Hamlin's GoFundMe for his toy drive is, has been pinned in the chat this whole time. Made a donation last night for the Catch family. So, yeah, man, prayers up. We'll just keep patiently awaiting for good news there. That's all we can do right now. So hit me up on Discord. Hit me up on Instagram if you guys need anything. And we'll run through another mock draft tomorrow. So that'll do it. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch.